Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now we're going to get our popcorn and then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car and I'll be in there in a minute. I see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this?
I know.
Now you cannot go
Baby,
again.
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Come on, you guys, what's been going on? I miss you guys so much. I know I didn't come on yesterday. They were in trial and I was trying to keep up, catch up, and next thing I know, bam, we in a verdict watch. We in a verdict watch. That's what I'm saying. We in a verdict watch. I'm happy that this trial is over with. It has consumed a lot of my time and it's almost like a series, like you're just watching TV, but this is actually real. It's not just realistic, it's real. These are people's lives. And it got hot and heated in the closing. Miss Hilton think that she did. Now let me tell you something. She did do some damage. Now she did some damage, you guys. How you doing, Miss Sunshine? I can't call nobody yet for a while, you guys. So if I ain't called you, it's because there's something going on, right? So today is my anniversary, and I'm happy about it. But I just been chilling. I gotta work. Worked last night. Things is okay. I won't say things is good, but and all the time. But God is good though. So I know, and then y'all go, uh-oh. you know. Thank you, Amari. How you doing? So the only reason why I didn't come on yesterday, things was getting heated in the courtroom. I had missed so much and I was trying to get caught up. Did I get caught up? Nope. I did go to another person's trial that kind of sliced the court date You know, and that's, people be like, that's cheating. No, it's not. It's called support. You know what I'm saying? It's called support. Sometimes I just I don't have enough time in a day to look at an 8-hour trial every day for a year. I got a life. So yeah, you know, so thank you for understanding. But anyway, you guys, we're in a verdict watch, and I am just so happy. You know, I'm ecstatic. Um, I do not want to see these boys go to jail for 40 years plus. I just don't. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's what's going to happen. I told you guys, uh, I don't think that the state showed enough evidence or substantial evidence, whatever you want to call it. I don't think they showed anything to prove on the murders of Donovan Thomas or this Shamar Drinks, whatever his name is, Drinks or whatever. I don't think they proved it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a horse and pony show. It really is. And you know, who can talk the best, who can get a person's attention. You never know who you got, you know, in the juror box. I mean, you just don't know. You can have somebody that dislike rap, dislike drill music, because that's what it's really about. Drill music, murder, sex. You know, a lot of people down there with, you know, no education, and you know, that's what happens when you live in an infested area like that. I mean, you know, people be like, oh, SP, you talking about the South and you talking about these. You know, I'm going to just be honest with you. I mean, I can relate. I really can. Because I grew up in an area like that before. Where, you know, the education was poor. The people around me was poor. We shared clothes. We, you know, I mean, we had enough with a roof over our head. After, you know, you got 7, 8, 9 people in the house, surely you can come up with rent. You know what I'm saying? We didn't own anything, you know. Back in the day, you guys, and this is, I'm going to tell you guys something. So, the state came in first, and they started saying their closing argument. They had Mr. Hands up there. They call him Mr. Hands. I don't know what his name is, but he barely says a lot of stuff. He was supposed to be the tech person, the tech expert person. And it seemed like he just really did not have that. But he came in, he gave it his all, and I think he did a good job. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, dang. I mean, it wasn't like, wow, pow, whoa, you know. I mean, I wasn't surprised what he said. He tried to get some momentum. And, I mean, you know, I paid attention to what he said. They had and it was good how they did it, because he came in with billboards that, you know, gave the definitions. He had, you know, his definition, what this was, what a crime was, what conspiracy is, what YSL was, and all this other stuff. And I mean, they put it together. The weirdest thing that I thought was Miss Love and Miss Hilton decided, we're gonna wear red today. Everybody wear red, like we are a unit, we are a team. That right there was a part of the plan. I think that was good too. I really do. Miss Hilton showed up. You know, she got her little bob going on. And then Miss Love, you know, she had her little short little, I can't remember that skater's name that used to skate. And she had the little short, very short haircut, and everybody was like, wow. I mean, because women back in the day, they didn't wear their hair really short. And if they did, they was like, hey, are you gay? You know, but that wasn't the case. But anyway, now we do wear our hair. I mean, I say we, not me, we. I can't say we because I'm not I'm not. No. I think, whatever the Lord gives you, that's what you have, okay? So, and until mine is totally damaged where there's no return, I'm gonna keep what I got. I don't care if half of it's looking crazy. But anyway, she got her hair really, really cut short. But I think it's beautiful. I do. I think it's beautiful. Some people can rock it and some people can't. I really can't. I got one of those heads that it ain't it ain't gonna look like Tony Braxton, okay? Or Holly Berry. It is not. It's gonna look ratchet. So, yeah. Some people can rock stuff like that. I just can't do it. But anyway, I think she wears hers very well. And when I say very, I mean I'll be like, dang girl, I think it's beautiful. But I don't too much care for Miss Love. She acts like the whole time during trial, she act like she didn't understand logic. She always act like she didn't understand the rules or what to do and what not to do. The judges always had to send them to a program or a media class or something. What to do, what not to do, Attorney 101, her and Hilton, and then they sit there and look at the film and say, okay. I mean, it was embarrassing for them. But you know what? And then Miss Hilton, she was cross-examining or Woody or Wody, whatever you want to call it. He acted, a nut. She was really mad. She was like, they came in here. Wody came in here and acted a fool. Act like he didn't know this stuff and all this other stuff. You know what? So, Mr. Hands, he did his closing argument yesterday. And I think he did a good job. I was like, well, dang, I talked to my homie and she was like, yeah. I said, I think he did good. She was like, yeah, he did. We couldn't take it from him. We was like, yeah, he did good. Then the state got in there. And so the state, Doug got in there and, well, I don't think Doug first. I think Shannon Stillwell's attorney got in there. And then he went ahead and said what he wanted to say. And I don't think the defense really did a good job as bringing it home. But, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, they don't have evidence. They didn't have witnesses. They only cross-examined the witnesses that the state had. And you got to remember, they don't have to prove anything. The only thing they have to do is, they don't have to prove. But, that's what the world say, too. They be like, well, they don't have to prove anything. They don't have to get on the stand, or they don't have to say anything. But, when your life is in the hands of 12 men and women, supposed to be of your peers, and this trial been going on for a whole year, you just sitting there and you're not gonna say nothing, because I'm gonna tell you something, and this goes in everybody's head. I don't care what nobody say. You tell me if I'm lying or if whatever. Just tell me. If I was on the jury, whether I say it or not say it, I'm gonna be thinking this. If you're fighting for your life, and if something's not right, and you didn't do something, I know the best policy, the best practice is to just don't say nothing because they're trying to catch you up or whatever, And I get that. I really do. I really, 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 really do. But I tell you what, if I didn't do something, if I did not do something, and now if we're in a one-on-one little argument or confrontation, you got me in the office, you want to say what you want to say. I don't care if somebody's in there or not in there or whatever. I don't care because you're not doing anything to me. You're not doing absolutely nothing. You get mad, I get mad. If it's my job, it's my job. I don't know. I'm a grown person because I don't get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You may not like something in your state of mind. It might be trouble. But to me, It might be a way out. Be like, I'm glad this job is gone, or, I'm glad I ain't got to deal with that person no more. You know what you can always do? You can always walk away. You ain't got to listen to it. You ain't got to listen to what they got to say. But when you're in trial, you can't just walk away. You got to sit there and listen to people lie on you. You got to sit there and listen to people stab you in the back. You got to sit there and listen to hypotheses and theories and things that don't even make sense. And you be wanting to say, girl, I know you lying. Just you want to cuss some people out because they going to say everything that's ignorant, crazy, stupid, try to get you around. And like I said, when the judge asks, hey, Shannon, yeah, y'all want to take the stand? Nope. Hey, Kendrick, you want to take the stand? Nope. Nobody want to take the stand. Because their attorneys told them not to. And that is the best thing for them. Trust me. 9 times out of 10, when they get you on that stand and you got to answer 50 million questions, they got questions. They gonna say stuff to make you mad or whatever. And you ain't got to answer those questions. You really don't. The only thing you got to say is, I ain't got nothing to say. Because the less you say, the better off you going to be. Because their job is to hammer you. Keep hammering you. They already got you in there. So you haven't done a good job by staying away from them. Because the best thing to do to stay away from them, leave them folks alone. If they tell you to go sit down, go sit down. Why would you got a probation officer or parole officer, you've been in trouble before, whatever, your name is already marked. You don't need to be around people that do the things you like to do, run the streets. Okay, it's all about music. And I'm going to tell you something. It is. You guys are not going to believe this, but it is. It was. More than you think. I did not realize this until the end. I didn't. I was thinking, oh, poor babies, they don't have this, they don't have that. But in all reality, let me see who this is. They always like to call me and say something about this is all right. Let me get a pen and write this down. She done gave me some good news. She done said something I wanted to hear. She said, my January. She said, all right. That ain't gonna cost that much. That's good. Anyway, you guys, and I'm sorry. Always. No. Sonya Watts, don't put that number in there. That phone ain't working right now. So y'all can't even call me. If you need to come, if you want to come up, you got something to say, tell me in the chat room. I'll put the link in. You can come up on the panel if you want to come up on the panel. But don't call that phone. Don't call that phone. You're not going to get me. And you're not going to get me. Okay? But she said, got it. Girl, I love you. I love you. Even shoot. That's why, everybody be like, why you ain't called? That's why I ain't called. I just said the phone is dead. Don't worry about it. I've got so many things I gotta do. I gotta give me a new TV. My TV went out. And I said, Lord, I don't even watch TV, but my husband do. So he's like, I gotta stay in the bedroom. Lord, we need to get the TV back in the living room. Cause him and his football, he love football. I don't know what. We can't do nothing today. She said exactly, I love you too. Girl, I love you so much. And like my phone is messed up, right? And I be thinking, I be like, dang, I can't even call this girl. I mean, and I don't call people every day. I just don't. But you might hear from me once every 2 months, But, when things is broken, things ain't working right or whatever, that's when you be like, dang, I want to call this person. I be thinking about calling Tina. I be thinking about Freddie had called me not too long ago, and we was shooting the breeze, and I was like, dang. And right after she called me, the phone was like, that's it, the end. Anyway, back to the YSL, and then and I got this other homegirl but I do got another phone, you guys. You guys do know that's my private phone. But, and I do got some numbers on this private phone. If I've ever called you with a block phone number, then you are on here. But most of the time, I don't like calling people block. I mean, it's like I'm hiding something. But this is my private phone number, and I don't, I really, if I really have to talk to you and that phone was like dead, it needed to be charged, and I probably called you blocked or said, don't save this number. Because when I'm at work or my kids need to get a hold of me, my husband or whatever, I don't, this phone I answer. The other phone I be like, but I don't know. These telemarketings done got this number probably because I owe some money. And now they bug me and it's okay. But like I just said, the lady just gave me a good price of something that I need to take care of in December, January, and I thought it was gonna be a lot of money, but it's not. It's really doable. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to take care of some of that. So we're in November, you guys. Thanksgiving is a couple of days away. Like I said, I got married on this day. Wow, crazy. 10 years ago. Y'all be like, you've been seeing 10 years for a long time. 10 years is a long time, man. It's a long time, but it came and went so quick it ain't even funny. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back on this YSL because this YSL, she said the end. All right, so you guys, tell me what you think. You think that the boys are going to be found guilty? Or do you think that the defense gave it their all? Now, normally we want people to go to jail. You did something, go to jail. We don't want you out here doing all this other stuff. I just think that these boys got a really bad deal in life. Shannon's mom, she was on drugs. His grandmother had to raise him. And I'm telling you guys something. This is the era of how we all basically, I won't say all, but 95% of the adults, and when I say adults, I'm saying, 30 on up, it was always mainly, okay, if your mother raised you, your aunt could have raised you, that's my thing, or grandma raised you, grandma raised you. And I mean, and you got, it's different. I mean, you're gonna love your mama no matter what. If your mama was there or not, you're gonna love your mama, even if your mother did some horrible things or whatever. My mother did, I don't know. I think, I have compassion for my mom because she just wasn't as smart. But then there's some mothers, they be on drugs. Then there's some mothers, they follow their boyfriend. And then there's some others, they don't love kids like we love, like we see in the world. You know what I'm saying? But let me be honest with you. God gave you the right parent so that it will even out. Whatever it is you're supposed to get in life and to be where you're supposed to be, he made it right. So don't ever think like, I got cheated or whatever. I mean, it's bad sometimes, I wish I could tell you guys some things, but my heart breaks. But sometimes it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sometimes it's best that you was with this parent so that you can get this, so that down the road you can handle that better, or now you know what to do because you don't want this to happen to you, or vice versa, or you raise your kids this way, so that you never know what you're raising, and you never know what your bloodline is supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Your generation bloodline is supposed to be doing. Like a lot of times, like say for instance, like I was thinking about this on the way home today. I was thinking about my first job, and you guys was around, my first job into the nursing home. And I told you guys, I said it was ratchet, it was nothing but African American people really working there. You probably had maybe a handful, maybe one or two, Caucasian, and but other than that, but you know what? To be honest with you, I had to be there, and I learned a lot. I was like, I came in the door, the police was there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The fire department was there all the time. I saved a life there. I mean, I seen a lot of stuff. Now, was it the most ratchet place I've ever worked? Yes. It was so ratchet. I didn't even know the word ratchet until I worked there. I knew what ratchet was really quick. I mean, people would wear their house shoes to work. They'd be cussing out the residents and, and fighting them. And I was like, I would call home and say, Papa, I say, listen, I said, they fighting. I don't know to run out the back door or what. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but the thing about it was, it paid really good money, and it did. It paid good. And people was like, you just there for the money. Leave, SP, leave. I was learning, you guys. I was learning. It wasn't where I wanted to be at. It had a lot of benefits. I was right up the street from my school. It paid well. I could do the job. I didn't really have no pressure. Yeah, run. Everybody told me, you got to get out of there. SP, get out of there. But they didn't understand. That is where God had put me so I can learn some stuff. Now, if I ran from everything before I learned some stuff, now I'm in this other position. Same type of job, different place, different address. That's it. It's all the same. Now I done went to this other place. It was, crackers on the Ritz. It was cocktails. It was caviar, You know what I'm saying? It was way out in, no man's land, but you know what? And the funny thing about it is, I heard the N word at the first place. I heard it almost every day. If it wasn't from the residents, it was from the staff. I'm going to tell you the worst thing I seen at that place. And when I say the worst, that I just could not, and it only takes something small for me to just be like, ugh, like, these people just don't get it. It was the weirdest thing because I'm thinking to myself, if you guys don't get, like, safety, like, I'm going to learn a lot of bad things here. So, yeah. Anyway, and it was, snack time. You gotta pass water. You gotta pass the snacks and stuff. Give people, they hungry. They want to eat. Eat. They eat in the middle of the night. They don't care about their weight. They don't care about the waistline. And how many pounds they done put on or whatever. They want to eat. They want to eat something, and you give them snacks or whatever. So when they would give snacks, and they would give snacks, um, they would put the snacks in the dirty soil utility room. I could not understand, and I mean, I kid you not, I could not understand that for the life of me. And I told them, hey, why are you putting the snacks in the dirty utility room? And they would be like, so there was this one resident that would come and grab them all. And I'd be like, I get that, I understand that, but no, that's not the answer. Take them snacks out of the dirty utility room. And I don't want to see them back in there again. Do not do that. Do you know what? That was that right there is when, like, I kind of was like, oh my goodness, this is like teaching kindergarten. They could not understand why not to do that. So they didn't do it for a couple of days, and I thought, okay, well, at least they got it. At least I didn't send nobody home. Well, in all reality, I was a charge nurse, but I couldn't send nobody home. You know why? That was the person that hired me, which was my cousin, by marriage. That's by marriage. I don't really know her like that, but she all right. You know, I ain't gonna say she thinks she this and that, but she ain't. She pretty girl though. But anyway, nevertheless, that's somebody with low education. But anyway, well, and she hired me, so you know, she just told me come on. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I ain't gonna talk bad on her because you know, she can only offer what she has. She didn't say, hey, this is a ratchet place. Come da 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 da. She talked up like, you know, hey, just come get your money. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say it was all that. She said, you know what she basically said? She was like, you need your money, cuz? Come and get your money. Cause you can get your money here. And I was like, okay. Y'all remember that conversation? I know Sanja remember. I know she remembered because I was like, shoot, I went from over here to like, I need a job to boom, got a job. And I was like, I came in, I was like, hey, do I need to do a UA? Do I need to fill out some paperwork? They was like, nope, clock in. I said, clock in. They was like, clock in, we finna train you. I was like, okay, let's get trained. And I was so excited and happy. Here's the thing. I had to endure that place. I did. I had. She said, I remember. I had to endure that place, you guys. And like I said, I saved a life. And that was like, I'm so thankful that God had placed me there. One thing in my life I could say I did, and I did right. I could do everything in the world wrong. But you know what? I did that. But you know what? That place was the most ratchetest place I've ever been. I felt like I was in a whole different world. I did. Every day. My eyes was big. I was like a fish out of water. Just flapping around like, oh my God, should I run? Should I hide? Matter of fact, I told my husband, I said, when I start hearing some yelling, I'm going straight to the bathroom and locking myself in. I'm not coming out. I don't want to see nothing. It was crazy. But I tell you what, I had to get that thick skin to endure anything and everything. Like I said, the job that I got now, they said, oh, you worked there? And I said, yeah, I worked there for a year. You know what they said? If you can work there for a year, you'll be okay here. I said, dang, don't compare yourself to the worst place. Do not compare yourself. They said, oh, if you can do that for a year, you'll be all right here. You'll be okay. So I kind of was like, But they didn't realize something. I'm not answering that. I'm just not. You're done. Yeah, they did do the most. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Freddie. So I had to do that. I had to be over there in the lower spectrum of life, of a job, being a nurse. And when I say the lowest, that's what I'm saying, you guys. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Even though we're talking about the YSL. These young cats, these boys, these young fellows, they live in an area where there's no education. There's no rules and standards in growing up. Where's the parents at? And the parents is doing too much, and the grandmothers was raising the kids, and and they went to school, and if they didn't want to go to school, they didn't go to school. But they wanted to have something. They wanted to grow up and be something. Jeffrey wanted to be a rapper. And if you seen Jeffrey as a kid, you would have said, oh my goodness, go sit down somewhere. He was flapping around like he was really doing, oh my God. And he was not good looking. And they showed that. In the closing, they was like, here's this boy with this, high water pants on, some kind of secondhand store leather jacket, teeth all rotten, dark as I get out of here, hair all, and he was tall too. Think he gonna be a rapper. He didn't even look like no rapper. So yeah, somebody grabbed him by the hand and said, keep on rapping, you're doing good. Keep on rapping, you're doing good. And taking him to places where he can rap at parties, and taking him here and taking him there. And his friends kept running the streets, doing what they want to do. Chaotic, chaos, everything, right? And Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams, kept going to the parties and da-da-da-da-da, thinking he was rapping. And guess what? He started rapping. Now, his rapping is drill music. It's talking about his livelihood, being in the hood, being at the trap house, selling drugs, going over here, running from the police, getting a gun, da-da-da-da-da, all this stuff. Because that's all he's seen. That's all he know. It was not like these other rappers that talk about stuff like when they hit 23, 25. This boy was living it as 6, 7, kindergarten. That's all he knew. And he seen his friends die. And he seen they go to jail. And he sold, some marijuana, some Mary Jane. And he seen the doors kicked in, and he seen people get beat down and set up and all of this other stuff. And he seen who had the bag. They said the doughboys. They said the ballers. That stuff happened when I was a kid. That was 40 years ago. But they still do it down there in Atlanta. Okay? They still do it. Or they brought it back. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have compassion for these type of people, because if you know anything about their lifestyle, you ain't got to know their particular lifestyle. But if you was raised in an area where there was drugs, there was low income, there was low education. When I say low education, yeah, they say, oh, you got a school. Teachers didn't care if you came or went. Teachers didn't care. Matter of fact, they never did even call home. You know what? I missed so much school that when I got in the 10th grade, they told me, they was like, you're not going to graduate. You ain't got no English. Well, my English was my last class of the day. And at lunch, I went to work. I didn't go to my last 2, 3 classes. Like 2 of them was alternative classes, like home ec and gym or something. But my 7th class was like English. Well, I missed it because at lunch I went to work. They didn't call my mama. Who was they gonna call? I still had to go to work. You remember, I live on my own. So even if they called my mama, she'd be like, oh, okay. She'd be like, she ain't here no way. Whatever. So that's just the way it was. And do I think that's a good livelihood thing where, you 12, 13, 14 and your parents is just not really in pouring into you? That's hurtful. That's very hurtful. But Jeffrey Williams' family was pouring into him, no matter if they had a roof over their head or not. And I can't speak for Jeffrey Williams. I don't know his whole livelihood. I've just seen pictures and I can just imagine. I remember my mother being on welfare. I remember the government cheese. I remember the bags of beans. I mean, the cheese was good though. It really was good. I remember her standing at the commodities place to get boxes of food. I remember food stamps when they were paper. I remember food stamps when it was plastic. Yeah. Okay, the quarters was like green. No. I think the quarters was blue. I think the dimes was green. I know the nickels was green. The pennies were black. I don't know if you guys remember all that. You see what I'm saying? You have to come from that to know. Like, I see my mama struggle. People be like, "What you mean when money was plastic?" I remember when money was plastic. It was. I mean, you literally can put it in the fire and it'll burn up and shrivel up. And then the dollar bills, they was the brown and white. The brown and white was the ones. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. And I can't say those was the best of the times because they was. They was really good. But you have to go through what you go through to be where you're at and to get where you're getting. Some things you think, and like some people be like, my mama wasn't there for me, or why they didn't love me, or whatever. Be like, girl, you okay? You had to go through that so you can get a little hard. Because this world, you was going to be in this world, and you can't just take everybody's answers to be what they are and who they are. You would be in a bad situation. That's why a lot of people in these bad situations, they had things handed to them. So when they got with somebody horrible, see, we get with somebody horrible, we be like, you know what, girl, I know you lying. I'm not finna stay with this ninja. I'm out. We at least knew how to get out or when to go. Other people don't. Other people stay and stuff, and then they be like, I thought it was gonna get better. Yeah, girl, we would always go to the store and hand them one of them ones, and knowing some only cost like 10, 12 cents a lollipop. They got hipped on that. They was like, they said, we ain't giving you the change back unless it's got to be over 50 cents or something. I know they made a rule about it or whatever. They at first, remember at the beginning, like you give them a $10 bill. They wasn't giving you like the ones back at first. First they was giving you the real money, but then they got hipped on that. So then they break it down, and then they was like, okay, we know what we gonna do now. We gonna make it where When you spend one of these, hey Dina, Diane, how you doing? When you spend one of these dollars, I mean, it's like they only give you the change of $1. Remember? So it was crazy. It was crazy. So anyway, growing up like that, you realize how these guys are going through what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? You know, having hand-me-down clothes. I mean, Young Thug's mom got 11 kids. I just be like, go mama, go. You know, not telling her to, you know, bring some more, because we know good and well you can't. That's 11 kids. You cannot pay a daycare. You are a daycare. Your house is a daycare. Shoot, if she would have get her license, she'd watch her own kids and sit at home and have the state pay. Shoot, I got 6 kids here. Huh? She start her own daycare. Ain't got to worry about nothing and get paid good, and know she gonna get paid and get food stamps on top of that and watch her own kids. And then the government got hipped on that, and then the government turned around and said you can't have no more than so many kids, and they only could be on the welfare or the represent. I said represent. Whatever. I'm not gonna get the word right now, but anyway, nevertheless, recipient to welfare for 5 years, so the kid, you know, age out at the age of 6. No more food stamps for you, little Tommy. No more Similac milk for you. You be like, dang, here these people that went and got all these kids thinking, because at first, remember, when they would give you a check for every kid, you get like $200-300 a month. So just think, if you had 2 kids, you got $700. You got 3 kids, you got $900. You got 4 kids, you get a $1,200 check every month. Your rent is only but $400, and plus you got food stamps. Okay, you got 4 kids, $1,200. Back then, that was some money. My mother, she had 7 kids. My mother now, not my father. My father, shoot, you know, you talking about TMO, okay? But so what did all the African American people did? They went and started. I don't care if I get pregnant. I don't care. We were populating the world. But then they came out and said, no more. You don't get no more money. They started cutting the money, and then they started cutting how many years you could be on the system. Anyway, nevertheless, it was hard to get off the system. My mother would always say, I don't want to be on welfare, you know. You don't want to be on welfare, you got to go to work. That's really simple. I mean, it's math, you know. You know, you don't, you know, 3 minus 1 is 2. That's what you get. If you got all these kids and don't go to work, then you minusing things. You know what I'm saying? You got 7 kids, no job. 7 minus 0 equals what? 7. You still got 7 kids with no income. Easy math. So Young Thug and all his friends and all the people that we see, that's why we can't really understand what they're saying. They got broken English. Most of them, even Young Thug, did not finish the 9th grade. 9th grade was it. So his friends seen him getting, you know, raised up. And guess what? People started noticing Young Thug, giving him a chance. He rapping. He made Lil Wayne his little person, his daddy idol. And he went on to rap. I can't tell you this young man's story. I'm just telling you what I see. And he's good at what he's doing as far as rapping. about what he know and what he like and in life. And whether we like it or not, it's true. The things that they rap about, I'm not saying all of it's true, but because you gotta make it rhyme some kind of way. You gotta make it fit in, you know. And some things, even though that it fit in, it don't sound right, or it might be just a little gangster about it, you know, ba da 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 or something, you know. People be like, oh, if you see that word, you say that word, you know, they're gonna take your YouTube channel, you know. We over here hashtag we don't care, but and we really don't. She said, once you have grown kids, you no longer have assistance like help with rent. I know some people that don't have rent assistance anymore. Exactly. And there's some people that it's almost like, you know, I remember when the lady from the welfare office would have to come to the house and we would have to hide our TV because we had a color TV. And we had a wash and dry. But at first, we didn't have a wash and dry. We used to wash our clothes in the tub. I know y'all don't know stuff like that. Y'all sit back. Y'all bougie now. Y'all bougie. You know, you don't know nothing about washing your clothes in the tub, eating government cheese, food stamps being plastic. You don't remember none of that. You don't remember no Mad Dog 2020. You know, you don't remember all of that bebop music and all that other stuff. I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, you know, whatever we did when we were kids, it made us who we were or are now. And I don't think and you know the best thing was when, you know, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much bad about the government because she said I'm 63. You know, I remember where for you to lie and run and be exactly. You had to. You couldn't tell him that there was a man in your house and he had a car and he would have to get up and leave every time when the woman come over to look at your house and make sure your house was clean, your kids was fed, did you have food in the refrigerator? I mean, embarrassing. Just to give you a little money. I mean, embarrassing. And, you know, mama held it down or grandma held it down or whatever and let the woman come in. And the woman was never black. She was always white. She would come in. She would be scared to get out the car. Hopefully she make it in. You know, but we didn't live in no bad area where, you know, drug addicts was right at the door and all this other stuff. I mean, you know, our parents held it down. They did what they had to do to make sure we had food, we had clothes, and they try to make it as less embarrassing as possible. This is what Young Thug and all his friends lived through this in the 90s. These babies is no older than my daughter. My daughter was born in 1990. She's 34. Young Thug is the same age. So I'm like, okay, when I had my daughter, I had moved out of the welfare house and I just worked a regular fast food job with one child. In the 1990s, you guys, I had worked a really good job. I got me a good job. I done worked small jobs. I got me a good job, but I didn't have all these kids. I didn't have no kids. And then boom, I ended up getting pregnant in 1990. Or actually, I had her in 1990. So I got pregnant in 1989. In the 80s. So we learned that we are, and somebody said in the chat, I think it was Saja, we are our environment. And so I don't look at these boys in a bad way, be like, I mean, we look like we came from all of that. So I don't know why they're still doing stuff like that. There's people still living like, people will come to me every now and then, you guys, and I'm just going to tell it like the TI is. And they be like, oh, my life is so miserable, my car broke down. Oh, I'm having a bad day, I ain't got no bread. Oh, I'm having a horrible day. The dish ran away with the spoon. Whatever. And I'll be like, you know what? I talked to a woman. I can tell you this. This is true. I talked to a woman last night. She don't even have her mind. And this morning, she said to me, well, they say she talks to the devil. And this woman looks wicked as I don't know, get out of here. She picks at herself all the time. And I don't know if you guys ever seen this before in your life. I've seen it before. I've seen it. I don't see a lot of it, but I've seen 4 or 5 cases like this. And she told me this morning, she said, I just got saved. Now, I'm like, oh, okay. And I just keep it moving. But you got people that can't even move. Laying in the bed. Just waiting for a sip of water. Waiting to be changed. Don't know who they are. Don't know where they are. They know enough to eat, to know their name, may know your name, but they really can't function. And we sit back and we complain about our life. There's people in prison doing a life sentence will never be able to get out and have an independent decision in their life. Everything in their life will be made for them. When to eat, when to sleep, when to get up, when to use the phone. And you know what's so sad about that? The crazy thing is about it, you got other people in there that want to take what they got. Take their independence. They see them naked because when you get ready to use the bathroom, you use the bathroom in front of everything and everybody. There ain't no closets. There ain't no walls. You have to sit, put your hand over your stuff, and somebody's sitting there looking. You got no privacy. If people don't think that's horrible, it is. And I'm not saying that these boys deserve this or don't deserve it. I'm saying, oh my goodness, hold on. I knew this. Yeah. But anyway, you guys, I look at this case and I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. I think that these boys did a lot of stuff when they were younger, and you're talking about in 2015. It is 2024 going on 2025. That's 10 years ago. 10 years ago, do you know there was a lot of growing up in those 10 years? And they done spent the last almost 3 years in jail. I'm not saying, oh, they paid their dues. I'm just saying, you made a lot of terrible mistakes when you were younger. Especially 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you made mistakes where there was no way you can get in or get out or whatever. Hey, Phyllis, we're talking about this YSL. We're in the verdict. Watch. Thank you for liking and sharing, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Anyway, I believe that, as the world, as a whole unit, I don't think they need to go to jail forever. But some stipulations, make them get their education, finish school. I don't care how old you are. You cannot be productive without an education. Yeah, Miss Hilton went in, and Miss Hilton came in and they said she was ratchet. And she was talking to them like, yeah, they murdered. This is no joke. These people are dead. They had kids. They da-da-da-da-da. She was trying to mess with the people's heart, which is true. You can't say what she was saying was not true. It was true. But you cannot say that this person did this. When it comes to if somebody had a gun, okay. No. If it in Young Thug's house, then you needed to charge Young Thug. I'm just being true. If it's in his house, you need to charge Young Thug. How you going to charge Yak and it ain't his house? I don't care if he there. It is not his house. And when it comes to these murders, you don't have nobody saying, yeah, he did that. You got Wody sitting there talking about, and I think there might be some truth to it. It might be some truth to it. It just might. But you can't put somebody in jail for life for might. You just can't. When they tested the car and they took out the headliner, and you didn't have no kind of gun debris, whatever they want to call it, on the headliner, oh, you were done. You shot yourself in the foot. Don't get mad at nobody else, because Shannon had a rental car. Of course, he would have cleaned it or whatever. Something. Gun residue. Thank you, Lisa. She was doing all the screaming in the world. She was screaming and hollering like they were kids. And she thought she was on fire. I mean, she was. But, she wasn't on fire like a good attorney. She was talking like we talk to our kids. She was talking to the jurors like they were her kids. Like they don't know what life is all about. So, we asked the question. We're already an hour into this. I am only going to spend 10 more minutes on this, you guys. Not even 10. 8. We're gonna be out of here in 8, okay? 8 minutes. Do you think, because we're on a verdict watch. We're on a verdict watch. Do you think that Shannon and Yak is going to be found guilty? Not guilty? What was the number one thing in this trial for a year that resonate with you? We got to learn something from this. It done took us a whole year. We've been watching this trial. And you guys didn't even know, but yeah, I couldn't even let it go. Is it the closing, the opening, Woody, Quadarius, Obama, the girlfriend, D.A. Dennis? There was so many players in this. I think they're going to make a movie out of it, you guys. That's how funny it is. They're going to make a movie out of it. This was almost looking like an O.J. Simpson trial. If you watched the O.J. Simpson trial, you didn't miss it. You'd be like, oh my goodness, I know they're lying. Crazy. When they said, if it don't fit, you must have quit. Everybody said, that ninja going home. mean, their eyes lit up. He tried to put the glove on, and I mean, his hands were stretched already, and the glove didn't fit. And they said, if it don't fit, you must have quit. Okay. But I'm going to tell you something. What happened to OJ? Okay? This is what I want you guys to really pay attention to. I don't tell you nothing but the truth. That's why, because guess what? I got nothing. Whether I tell you the truth or the lie, I got nothing to gain. She said the whole real exposure of how crooked the justice system can be. Oh, yeah. They're very, very crooked. They like to twist things to fit their little narrative. And that's true. And then they want you to prove that they're lying. And then they'll lie. But if you get on the stand and lie, they be like, Miss Love was like, I've missed saying this. I've missed mistrial. I've misery say this. You know, like she was really something. It's like, girl, y'all see, we look at you guys just like the police, but you will lie, twist things around, and act like you don't even understand. And then be like, I'm sorry, oops, I'm sorry, oops, I'm sorry, oops, I'm sorry, oops, I'm sorry. And this, you want me to go to school to be like you or whatever? It's crazy. It's crazy. I do believe that they will, you know, hopefully not on every charge. Like the gun charges, I don't believe Yak should get those gun charges. Now, Shannon, it wasn't in his hand. They found it in the street. But it looks more like, you know, that probably was his. His girlfriend even said it was hers. And it was hers. And he threw it away. He'll probably get the 5 years on that. For sure. For sure. I know that to be. But as far as the murder charge, can't do the murder charge because Wody, you know, and everybody's like, yay, Wody saved the day. Wody saved the day. They wouldn't have been there if Wody wouldn't open up his mouth. So you got to remember, some of the witnesses, all of the witnesses that you see, they were protected by a plea deal. They were getting something out of things that they were charged with. Wody, he walks around and say, you know, he this type of person that take people out. He do not look like a person that... I'm just saying. I wouldn't be scared of him. He better go somewhere. He might be something over there in Atlanta. And everybody say Atlanta's bad, but no. He couldn't make it in the real hood. No, not wearing pink. No, not at all. I'm just saying. She says, I think there's a possibility they may get some time. Yes, they will get some time. But should be free with time served and probation. Oh, okay. I think Yak may get off. But I think Shannon may get like 10 years. Maybe more. But I don't think the murder charges is going to stick. And that's the best thing. Because they wanted these boys to do 40 years. 40. Could you see being 30 and doing 40 years? 40 years? Get out of here. Ain't nobody doing no 40 years. The best thing they could done is, and here I'm gonna tell you something else too. They got a lot of appeals. Now, this is gonna tell you something. So, if Kayla did marry Shannon, which everybody say she did. I don't know. Allegedly, she's supposed to be married. It's supposed to be Caleb Bumpkins slash or hyphen Jackson. Why would she marry somebody that's going to be in jail for 30, 40 years? That right there doesn't even make sense. That tells you, that gives you some insight right there. Okay? Why I say that gives you some insight, that don't even make sense. Ain't no way in the world somebody tell me you looking at 40, 50 years. I'm going to marry you. I'm not going to marry you 40, 50. I might marry you for 10 years. But I ain't going to marry you anything over 10 years. I don't even want to do 10. I just don't. But she married this boy knowing that he's looking at a lifetime sentence. Life is 25. They didn't even offer him 25 because guess what? They're trying to say he killed 2 people. I don't see Shannon doing that. And then that second murder with the drinks guy, the defense showed that car moved. They didn't have no proof that a gun was shot from Shannon's car. Yeah, it had tinted windows. That don't mean he shot him. Unless, if he got out the car and shot him, wouldn't the residue still be on his skin somewhere, in his hair or somewhere? You know? Do you think they should have taken a plea deal? No. I'm glad they didn't take that plea deal. That was humongous. That was just crazy. That was just unbelievable. 40 years? No, I wouldn't take a 40-year. I would fight. You got nothing to lose. You got something to gain. They got to prove. They got no evidence. They got no gun residue. They got no gun. They got no smoking gun. And then their motive is why? To further YSL gang? Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say YSL is not a gang. I'm not gonna say that. Because I do believe they are a gang. Now, that they lying about, but it's not illegal to be in a gang, okay? I don't think they did things to further the gang. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do believe they wanted the rap, to keep people out of their town and to get all the business and don't let nobody come in their town because they Atlanta, But SP right, I said the same thing. And movie is on the way. What I can't come away with is that the state was not prepared to try this case. My thoughts is these young men are getting some time. Yeah, they gonna get. She said they gonna get some time. Yeah, they gonna get some time. They gonna get some little time because Fanny want to make a believer, and I don't believe that they shouldn't get any time. I'm just saying 5-10 years. One should get 5, and the other one get 10. I don't think the murder charges is sticking either. I think maybe a gun charge here or there. But I don't know how many years you get to further the conspiracy. I think, they should have been really focused on the conspiracy because I do believe this is what I'm saying. I do believe that, YSL was a gang and they was furthering the gang and they were doing criminal act, but I don't think that it was I don't think it was like, they came together, like it was a like a conspiracy. I don't think it was like, hey Lisa, let's go out and we're gonna do this to make us look good. I don't think that. I think everybody was their independent agent and YSL had got large, they were a part of something large. They were finally, they were furthering themselves. Exactly, Phyllis. they were furthering themselves. I don't think they were furthering YSL. It's almost like when you, like the police department, when you become a police officer or something, and in the police department they have a goal, but if you don't follow the goal, then you can't just say the whole police officers as a whole. You have to just take out the ones. And like I said, everybody was a part of YSL because they let anybody in. It was no jump in. It was no beat down. It was no pay a due. Like, you want to be a part of us? Come be a part of us. It's just going to make us bigger. Now, if you be a part of us and you go out and, rob Tom, Dick, and Harry or whatever, that's on you. That's what you do. But we're not going to sit back and be like, oh, you can't be a part of us. I think Young Thug literally really wanted to help these boys. And that's the sad thing. I think Young Thug really reached back to help some people, and a lot of them, 90% of them, was stabbing him in the back, talk crazy about him when he wasn't around. Oh, he ain't this, he ain't my mama, he ain't my daddy, I ain't listening to him, I'm my own man, I'm my own person. Well, then, what, you were sitting there waiting for a handout. You were waiting for somebody to help you get to the next contact, and that's what you were supposed to do. But still yet, because when Young Thug said his little statement up there in front of the judge, I looked at Yak. Just look at him. He looked like, oh, God is speaking. Let's listen to what he has to say. Because here's, at the end of the day, Young Thug made it. He made it. He didn't have to be friends with them. He didn't have to be friends with them. But he was thinking, shoot, I'm the same guy then. I'm the same guy now. Y'all don't have to do this. You can do this. You can do that. You can do this. Just ride around. Make some music. Do. Someone was making music and someone wasn't. But he tried to get all that he could. And he did have some. And you know what? And I just think that some of the people wanted to do it their way. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to be bad boys more than they wanted to be rappers. Yeah, they wanted to rap about it, but they want to make a situation and then be like, yeah, caught such and such bad, looking at the hand and making it the man, and they gotta run and thinking I had a gun and the bada bada bang, But they lived this life, and then they started believing what they was living. And not only they started believing what they was living, but you're going to always have haters that's like, what makes you different? Oh, you live on this side of the tracks. We live on this side of the track. Oh, we better because we got Young Thug. We're better because, we drive nice cars. We got the girlfriend. Everybody sleeping with everybody. The same girls are sleeping with the same boys. They sleeping on this side of the gang members, and then they go over there and sleep over there. They sleeping with Slim Shady. They sleeping with Slime. Real life, whatever. It's crazy because there was no rules. You understand what I'm saying? There's no rules. Be yourself. Claim whatever you want to claim. You claim you with us. And here's the thing. And you can't get mad about this. They were trying to protect each other, and they were. Get mad. They're trying to protect each, but they were causing havoc on the town. Innocent people was getting hurt. They were innocent, and it just wasn't YSL. It was all the other gangs. If you gonna take one gang, where's them other boys? Because everybody that came up that said, my friend died, my friend dead, my friend got killed, my friend, It's like 8, 9 people of your friends, your peers. You know how I would feel if 8 or 9 people I grew up with died in like 1 or 2 years? I mean, died? That's crazy. Now, we might see somebody die because a car accident or something, or, something like that. But maybe one bad incident where they got caught at a club or something, got a bullet, a stray bullet or something. But 7, 8 people that you grew up with died all in the first 2, 3 years. And then the other half is in prison. Think about what I'm saying, you guys. It's worse than what you think. You can't really imagine how horrible the the lifestyle living in Atlanta is. A lot of people love to go to Atlanta. My husband, he wants to go to Atlanta. We're going to go to Atlanta because he wants to go. He wants to go, we're going to go. I don't need anything. So everybody be like, well, why don't you go where you want to go? I don't want to go nowhere. I think every place is the same, but every place is different. And when I go to Atlanta, I definitely ain't going to get out like I'm at Las Vegas or something. I mean, I was stuck when I was in New York. We didn't know nobody. Now, yeah, we did know somebody when we got there. But we had to get there, get set up, and move from New York to New Jersey, and then come back to New York, and then meet up with cousins, and sit at a coffee shop for 20 minutes, eat pizza, and then they went their way. I'm like, shoot, we way over here in New York. Don't know nobody where the rats is bigger than the cats. And I seen it for myself. I ain't never seen nothing like it before in my life. My husband said, baby, we need to rent a car. I said, they don't rent cars down here, honey. They take the shuttle, they take the subway, they take the bus, they Uber everywhere, it's all that. And he didn't realize that. And when we did that, yeah, New York. And when we did that, she said, don't go to East Atlanta or West Atlanta. Ooh, girl, I don't know which type of Atlanta we going to. But he wants to go. And sometimes you got to, before this case ever started, Wody never went out of the state of Atlanta in his life. Being a grown man. Now, he travels the world. He knows how to get on a plane. He knows how to get off. He knows how to book a flight. He's in airports. I'm at the airport. I'm going to such and such. He goes to Chicago. He goes to New York. He goes to California. He goes to Miami. He goes to all these places. He goes to places we've never been before. Like before, I done been to like 15, 20 different states. He never went to one. Now he done bypassed all of us. He done went to all these places. And he goes frequently. He goes when he wants to. He's got a better car than you and me. Okay? Yeah, he do. Somebody say he ain't got a better car than me. Yeah, he do. Yes, he does. Everybody in here, he's got a better car than you. He's got more money than you. Because this is what we do. This is what we do. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. We're talking about the Young Thug trial in Atlanta. We're on a verdict watch. They will probably not come back until Monday. Well, what happens, because today is Tuesday, they will be in deliberation Thursday. And I don't think that they're going to know anything Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, they will not have court because you have Thanksgiving and then you got a free day Friday, right? So then they're going to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They'll think about a lot of stuff Monday. We'll probably get a verdict back Monday or Tuesday. And that's really not even going through it. But one good thing about the whole situation, you guys, I got to say this. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Miss Lisa, and everybody in here. She said SPNN. That slime people nasty none of the time. I don't know. Y'all laughing, but Slime Pete, no nasty. Naughty nasty. Nasty Nina. I don't know. Crazy. They said ESPN means every slime I can't remember what they said. She said my birthday is Friday. Happy birthday to you, Zena. You guys, but we will do the verdict watch. We will come on here anytime we hear anything, anytime they ask the question. Like I said, I do believe that they're gonna get a little bit of time, not the murder charges. Yak will not probably get the gun charges, but they will get some charges just because the state has put out a lot of money. I'm thinking that the jurors is gonna look like there was 6. First there were 28, then it went down to 6. Now they down to 2, and they're probably like, now hold on, did these 2 do something? Because why did they not take? Where did everybody go? The jurors know where everybody went. The jurors know where everybody went. They knew that they took deals. They didn't get no time, basically. And this was all about them. And see, they, you guys, we'll come back on. We'll come back on tomorrow. And we'll talk a little bit more about it, you guys. And we'll just name it Verdict Day number 2. All right. You guys be good. Be safe. If you got anything you want to say, happy birthday to Zena. I love you, baby. You know I do. Happy birthday to you. Peace.